Man, just what does this mean? You've been a part of this program for so long. You've seen all the downs, and I mean all the downs between Tech and the tragedy and everything. To come through and win like you did tonight, what's that mean to you?
Man, it's special, man. Like you said, 6 years, all the trials and tribulations, I've been a part of. There's no better feeling to, go out Scott Stadium one last time, with this win.
Let's rewind back to the beginning of your career at UVA. Did you ever think not even under Elliott's tenure, just in general, you'd be able to get to Charlotte in a way like this?
I think for me, I always had a goal going to a championship. I didn't know how it was going to look. I also didn't know it was going to be, 6 years in college. And the landscape has changed so much since then. But, I'm grateful for it all. It happened the way it did.
And you mentioned the landscape. Talk more about that. What has it been like? Because you've pretty much lived through the change of college football and how it is now compared to when you first were a freshman.
Yeah, my first year, it was never anything about NIL talk.
Yeah.
So, when I committed, it was for the love of the program and the institution. It's still there. But now in the back half of my career, like you said, the landscape's so different, NIL and the transfer portal. It can be hard to get guys to commit to a cause, but I hope you can see, we did that this year.
Virginia Tech only scored 7, and that was in the fourth quarter. Just talk to me about that defense. Cam's down. Maddox really fills in well as well, everybody. Talk about that defensive effort.
Yeah, we always have a next man up mentality. We've had that all year. Cam, he's a great player, and so is Marcellus in his own way. I think that's what makes our defense so special, is that it doesn't matter who's out there, we're able to produce. And, the week, this week and this game is no different than any other week. We have to execute and play at a high level.